Hi, this is Darlene Derrick from Home Sale Diva Century 21 Dreams, and this is Let's Talk Real Estate. This is the Let's Get Real podcast that I'm creating for clients and anyone interested in buying or selling real estate. Today's topic is bidding wars, what it means to you either as a buyer or a seller, and really the pros and cons to it and what it really means. So, depending who you are, bidding wars can be good things or they can be really bad things. Depends your perspective. So the first thing, why do we have bidding wars? What environment creates a bidding war? Well, there's a few things. Number one reason, lack of homes on the market. There's lack of inventory for buyers. Too many buyers. Again, it's supply and demand. It's like no other, every other commodity. So if there's too few and too many buyers, you're going to, most likely have a bidding war. Could be it's underpriced. Could be a really hot area as well. The market is really, average or okay or normal, but one area in particular is really hot with buyers. So that is sort of the climate of why you would have a bidding war. So having said that, will every property go into a bidding war? No. Even if the market is hot, depending on the house pricing, etc., or the time of year, and that really could be week to week, month to month. You need to have an agent who knows what they're doing and knows the climate, the current climate. What worked last week or a month ago in an area may not work now. So I cannot stress this enough. If it ends up a hot area and then a lot of sellers get and flood the market with their houses, right away the environment changes. So it's really, really key to know when you're about to list whether or not you should be strategically trying to get a bidding war. So what is some of the common ways of creating this kind of environment, and what are the risks? So let's talk about the risks of trying to create a bidding war, or a bidding war actually happening. Really, it can turn off a lot of buyers. A lot of buyers are, they're tired of losing out. So as soon as they see the potential of a property going into a bidding war, they might just say forget it. The other common thing is timing. A bidding war, especially if it's strategically created, and we're going to talk about that in a second, about holding back offers. There are some people that simply cannot wait for the timing that you have selected as the seller. I work with a lot of relocation clients. I used to be a relocation manager for the second largest food manufacturer enterprise in Canada, and it's typical for both Canadian and international relocation clients to be flying in for a few days, a weekend, or a week, and they power shop for a house, put in an offer, and need to know where they're going. So if your timing of holding back offers doesn't work for them, they have no choice, and you won't really accept an offer prior to that. They have no choice but to disqualify your property as a potential. So again, there are risks. Also, a bidding war, there is the risk when it gets underway that people get really scared off and they pull their offers, and that can happen almost to the second that you're about to present. That people say forget it. So again, it's very fluid, and it can end up only one at the table, and then they change their offer, and people get spooked. Okay, so there really is some risks with bidding wars and trying to create bidding wars. So what is one of the major methods of creating a bidding war, other than having about location, being in the a hot area, or underpricing, which again, I got to warn you again, let's be real here. A lot of agents will underprice a property so that when it sells at market value or above market value, they can put on all their flyers. I sold this property $200,000 over list, or whatever makes them look good, or 130% over list, or whatever. Don't be fooled by overlist prices or percentages. It depends the environment and how it was priced, and was it done really just to make the agent look good? Did at the end of the day the seller still get market value or what it was really worth, but it bloated what the agent their marketing and the success of their marketing looked like? So again, be very wary of that. Okay, so holding back offers. Holding back offers is usually put in the brokerage remarks. So as an agent, I can see it most of the time. The public cannot see this on the public site MLS.ca. Sometimes they can. So it's very important to be working, if you are a buyer, with a real estate agent who is on those boards, so that they can see those special remarks to know, because strategically it changes the game. Holding back offers is when you put a specific date and time that you will be accepting offers. Sometimes with that as well, you can say that they will have the right to review preemptive offers, meaning if somebody comes in with a good offer and they want to take it prior to that date, they can do it. Does it mean if that clause is not there that it still won't be sold prior to that date? No, especially in today's market. So it really depends. I will often say a deal is done a lot of the times by the working and the relationship that is built between the selling and the buying agents. So it's very, very important. So does it mean that you have to wait till that date? Absolutely not. It depends on the instructions that the listing agent's clients have given them. But as well, we are required, if an offer comes in, to present or inform our clients of the details and whether or not they want to accept it. So again, often, clients or buying agents will contact, if I'm the listing agent, will contact me to see sort of, get a feel for what's going on. And I do the same when I've got buyers, to see, if my clients are really interested in it, can we speed the process up? Does it mean that if you put a preemptive offer in, you're overpaying? No. Does it mean it could go under or over list? Yes. I mean, again, it's all about the comps and what somebody is willing to pay. The main thing with bidding wars is that you have to keep a cool head if you're on the buying side and know what you're willing to buy the property for. But I always say to my clients, more importantly, what are you willing to lose the property for? If you're willing to pay $800,000 for a property, but you really were willing to pay $850,000, and it's, now in a bidding war, if you are willing to pay $850,000, then put that down, not $800,000. Don't play games, because you're often not given another opportunity, but sometimes you are, but assume you're not. Also means if you go into a bidding war, especially in this environment, that often standard clauses like financing and inspection are often not acceptable to a seller. But again, you as a buyer have to know the risks of that and what you're willing to do to get the property. So again, I counsel my clients very clearly on that. Okay, so if you are the listing agent, do you have to tell people of the other bids? You cannot tell them details. I'm going to tell you that right away. Often we get, what was the other offers for? Sorry, if something sells, once it's firmed up, you can be told the sale price. It's public information. Prior to that, but you cannot be told what the other offers were for. As well, if you're in the middle of competition, you can't be told what the other offers are. Everyone has to be what I always call on a level playing field, okay? So that's extremely important, okay? So you can tell everyone the total number of offers, whether or not an offer is from that listing agent or their office, or whether or not there is a commission discount, which will provide the seller a higher net price. You can disclose that, but you cannot disclose the sale price in any offer. So we're really restricted to what we're allowed. So can you, as a buyer, put in a clause that is often referred to as an escalation clause, meaning you'll say something like, I'll pay $5,000 more than the best offer received to guarantee that I will win this or buy this property. No, no, no. Okay, I don't know how much clearer to be. Remember what I just said? You're not allowed to know the details of the other offers. In order to do this kind of a clause, you have to then disclose what the other ones were, which are not allowed to do. It's not a legitimate clause. It's not allowed. It's not an ethical clause. It puts everybody else not on a level playing field. And I have received such a clause in an offer for my buyers. And I got to tell you, my buyers were not happy. Thank goodness I often work with pretty ethical people. And they were just dumbfounded and quite honestly outraged that a clause would be put in like that. We just ignored it. Not happening. Okay, so don't put that in. Put your best offer in. Okay, so then there's another one. What about if there's a case where the buyer puts in an offer with no price? Again, I would never do that. I simply would never do that because the liability aspect for me as the buying agent, you could end up having a buyer or seller put any price in. So no, you have to put your price in as well. That's not okay. You need to have really specific amounts. It's not a good plan to do that. What if one of the offers is accepted but it's still conditional and a second offer comes in? So that's another question that I get all the time. Does the listing agent have to tell the first buyer about the second one? The answer is no, they don't have to, because once you've put in a conditional offer and it's been accepted, you're now under contract. You as the buyer have the first right of refusal, and you have that time period that was specified in that conditional offer to fulfill those conditions, such as financing and inspection. Really at that point it's either your property or not, if you're going to fulfill those and accept the consequences, or if, for instance, if the inspection came back and there were problems, you might be going back to reduce the price. Would you, however, if there was another offer on the table, and again you don't know the details, or you do know the details but you can't disclose them, would you tell the buyer who has the conditional offer, especially if they're coming back to make changes? Yes, you could. You could tell them that, because that may make them think twice about starting to demand things, because often the sellers will say, forget it, I've got somebody else who wants to buy the property. Why should I bother be wrangling with you, so to speak? So you don't have to, but you cannot disclose information. You have to be really careful that way. Okay, so how should you prepare? What happens? Every deal is different, but you should be told as a buying rep how many offers are coming, and that is very fluid. Up until the time that they're presented, you need to be told. Are you always told the number? No. Do you want to know if you're in a bidding war as a buyer? Yes, because your original offer may change. Knowing that there's more at the table. Do all agents follow the rules? No. So again, bidding wars are very fluid. There's lots of rules and regulations. Are they followed? No. They should be, but often they're not. But as a selling agent, you have to conduct yourself in a very professional, systematic method in order to protect your sellers. And on the buyer side, you have to be protecting your buyers. So it can get very complicated. It's very timely, and you should be working with a professional. So take care. I hope I was able to answer most of your questions. Email me at darlene@homesaledivas.com, or call or text me. My cell is 905-484-4653. Take care, and I see you for another episode.